on blast.
I want to focus more on the Raptors fans and their reception of Kawhi Leonard. It came out today that the game starts at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, and the Raptors want fans to be in their seats at 6:45 for a pregame ceremony, which I'm guessing Kawhi is going to get his ring then. Whether Kawhi plays or not, I don't know, but the point remains there's going to be a moment where the Raps, I'm going to assume, have some type of video. They're going to give him the ring. There's going to be a round of applause. Now, and it's funny because on my way home from work, I'm in the Uber, and my Uber driver says to me, "Oh, I'm so glad to see the area you're going to because that's right by my house. So now I'll be home in time to see the Raptors game." And so we laugh. I'm like, "Yeah, me too." And we start talking about Kawhi. And I asked him, I'm like, "What do you think? Would you boo Kawhi?" And he's like, "No, I never boo Kawhi. He brought us a championship." And I was so happy to hear that because I'm not going to tell you how you should feel because you're grown ass people. You can feel however you want. But I will judge you if you boo Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Because, like, what do you have to boo the man for?
You know what? I think the reception for him will be different because obviously he brought us a championship, and I think even going into him being, it wasn't like he was here for 5 years and then just said, "I don't want my kids learning the metric system, and I'm going back to the U.S." Right?
Mm-hmm.
We all knew from the get-go he wanted to be in California,
Yep.
and the man went home to play in California. Right? He didn't leave to go play with LeBron. Right, if he was a Laker, I'd boo him even during the rings. Right, he didn't leave to go play with LeBron and D Wade and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He went where he said he wanted to go from 2 years ago. Right, but he came in, handled his business, won the championship and the MVP, and then did what he felt he needed to do for himself and his family.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing, right? Like the guy went back home. We live in a city where a dude named John Tavares did the exact same thing with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So it would be very hypocritical, which, I mean, I'm not saying Toronto fans are above being hypocritical, but it would be very hypocritical to be mad at Kawhi for going home, but totally okay with John Tavares
Exactly.
for coming home, right?
Exactly.
So, but the other part of
there's
this,
going to be a few fools in the crowd who are.
but are those people just trying to get on Six Buzz, or are they actually like booing Kawhi because they're like salty that he left? Because my thing is, he held up his end of the bargain. Like, we know that he never wanted to come to Toronto, right?
Yeah.
And you can have the debate all you want about they're pro athletes, they make millions of dollars, they should have to do, like, you should have to do whatever because you make $1 million a year, millions of dollars a year, so you should have to put up with A, B, and C. We know that's what it is in theory, but in reality, we know that in this era, athletes a lot of the time will do what they want to do, and when they don't want to do something, you're going to know about it, and they're going to sulk their way out. See Anthony Davis, see LeBron last year when things weren't going well in LA. Magically, he's hurt for the second half of the season. But the point remains, Kawhi came here after he didn't want to, played hurt in the playoffs.
Embraced the city a bit.
But we knew that he was hurt during the playoffs. We watched him leave it all on the floor. He gave us moments that will live forever in the city.
Yep.
The 4-bounce game, the dunk on Giannis, the championship, right? The parade with 1 million people down the streets, all of these things when he really didn't have to do that. Like, you can't question his heart. You can't question, did he give it his all? He left it all out on the floor. And to that, I am forever grateful because he gave me moments and things that I never thought I would ever see watching the Toronto Raptors.
We'll never forget. I mean, he ended up going home, but I think it took a very desperate Clippers move.
For sure. It took a lot.
For that to happen.
It took a lot for that to happen.
So, and I think if the Clippers weren't the Clippers,
yeah,
and they weren't that desperate to trade away 1,800 first-round picks and whatever the trade ended up, I honestly think there was a chance Kawhi would have came back.
Let's get some more comments here. I see my guy Mike checks in and says, "Stop it. He's getting a standing ovation and he deserves it. Would love to see the cheers and then boo every time he touches the ball." Goes along with what you were saying. Because
if the game is close,
for sure,
give it to him.
And I'm okay with that. Like, during the game,
Yeah.
obviously you're not going to be cheering for a dude on the opposing team during the game. I totally understand that. That's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about pregame ceremony, like after the game when he walks off the court, whatever, That to me is the big deal here. Fly Miss checks in and says they better not boo him. Raptor Homer says, why boo the reason who united the country?
Very true.
It's very there. And again, shouts to bringing that up, Raptor Homer, because that's a very big point. There is nothing else that could happen in this country other than Canada's men's hockey team winning gold medal in the Winter Olympics.
And I don't even think it.
No, it did. No, it did. It did. I was in the. We were in the streets
I hear you.
when it happened, and it was a thing, and it was going on across the country. But I'm saying, other than that, I urge someone to find where there were watch parties for something in all these different cities across the entire country, because it didn't happen. Did it happen when the Jays won? I don't think so. Right? Definitely. So he's right. He united the whole country, and I know people want to play semantics when you say, well, he didn't just do it, it was the whole team. We're seeing it right now. We're seeing it right now with this Raptor team this little run that's going on right now. Listen, you missed that break in case of emergency, right? Quick 6-point run, right? More comments. Alex checks in and says, if you don't stand up and at least clap, you shouldn't have a ticket to the game. Glow Girl Smile says, we cheer Kawhi and give a standing O. We'll be there, and that's what I'll do. But during the game, no more cheers. Valid point. Damone says, I'll give Kawhi a standing O after that. Get him the F up out of Toronto. We need this dub.
I hear you. I hear you. Definitely.
My guy C Brown says, cheer him when he gets his ring and then boo the shit out of him. Again, during the game, not mad at that. Need that dub. Not mad at that at all. I'm looking forward to this game just in terms from a basketball standpoint. I actually think it's an interesting game because it's another what we call big boy game. Because the Clippers are a real team.
And I think the Raptors, regardless of how they've played recently, I think they get up for that game.
I mean, hey, it's also the return of Patrick Patterson. And Lou Will?
Lost and found. Get to work. You know what to do. I would mention some actual names, but we'll keep it.
Yeah, no, listen, man. Listen. What's Alex says, that man didn't ask to be traded here. He was a true professional and gave it everything he had. Nothing but respect. Let's see. Fresh LA says, that game 7 versus Philly, man, when everybody else was shook ones, he deserves a statue for that alone. Thank you, Fresh LA, for saying that, because I've been saying, why is there not a statue of Kawhi, the B-boy pose, right? Like, first off, if you just put up branding behind it, like you're Scotiabank, okay? Yep. If you just put some Scotiabank branding that's not too, like, ugly or too, like, crazy, but behind the Kawhi pose, do you know the Instagram love you would get off of that? It would become like the new Toronto sign that they had at Nathan Phillips Square when they first put that up and everyone was taking pictures of that. How is that not a thing? Just giving it, I shouldn't have given that idea out for free. Yeah. That's I shouldn't have done that. Should have sold that to Scotiabank for a bag. But yeah, that game 7, we forget that now with all this talk about, oh, well, the whole team played great. My guy took like 40 plus shots in game 7 because everyone was shook. and then missed the free throw that would have really iced the game, and then hit the game winner over Embiid. Made Embiid cry. Yeah. Grown ass Embiid. Tough guy Embiid. Made the man cry grown man tears. Yo. I will always rep Kawhi. I'll be wearing my fun guy shirt on Wednesday. Yep. So let's go. Fired up. I don't even care if the Raptors win that game. Here's the thing about the whole season. I'm not getting mad at anything this whole year.
You can't.
I'm not.
You can't.
I won't.
On blast.